Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another video in the Kasparov Karpov saga. Today we have game 3 in the 1984 World Championship match. Karpov has the white pieces, starts with e4. Gary plays c5, another Sicilian. Knight to f3, e6, d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, and now knight to c6. The Taimano variation of the Sicilian. Knight to b5, d6, c4, knight f6, knight 1 to c3, defending the e4 pawn, a6, attacking the knight, knight back to a3, both sides develop the bishop, now both sides castle, b6, bishop to e3, bishop to b7, now queen to b3, attacking the b6 pawn, knight to a5, attacking the queen, queen takes b6, knight takes c4, knight takes, bishop takes, now queen takes queen on d8, bishop takes d8, and Karpov plays rook a to d1, attacking d5, and now Gary plays d5, which is where things go wrong for black, because he probably should have played a move like bishop to f6, just attacking the b2 pawn, because now after g5, white has this great move, f3, dislodging the bishop from the protection of the d5 pawn, and after bishop to f5, we get c takes d5, e takes d5, rook takes d5, attacking the bishop, bishop to e6, attacking the rook to d6, attacking the a6 pawn. If bishop takes on a2, rook takes on a6. Now you might be wondering, couldn't black have played bishop to g6 instead of bishop to f5 to make sure that rook takes d5 does not come with an attack on the bishop? However, after c takes d5, e takes d5, rook takes d5, and now rook to e8, attacking the bishop, king to f2, defending the bishop, and knight to c6, we get this position where white has two amazing bishops. Black's bishop is pretty much looking at squares that are all covered by white. So this position is white is to be preferred. Now in this position, you have to take on a6, and after bishop takes, bishop e7, and rook to c1, you get this position, which is pretty holdable for black, according to the engine. However, Kasparov plays rook to b8, attacking the b2 pawn, and this is a mistake, because this would allow white to play the rook d1 move, which is crushing. Now there's a couple of possible variations. One of them, which is the best continuation, is rook to e8, and after bishop to f4, rook to a8, offering a trade of rooks, rook takes a8, bishop to b6 with check, king to f1, rook takes a8, rook to a1, attacking the bishop, bishop to d5, knight to c4, bishop takes c4, bishop takes c4, rook to c8, attacking the bishop, bishop to d5, rook to d8, and now rook to d1. We get this position where white is up a pawn, white has the bishop pair, white is just doing very well against black, and black's pieces are pretty much protecting each other, do not have a lot of space, so white is again to be preferred. Another move that is possible after rook to d1 is taking on b2, and after rook to d2 and the rook trade, knight to b3, bishop to b4, and now knight to d4, bishop takes f8, knight takes e2 with check, king to f2, king takes on f8, king takes on e2, bishop to c7, rook a8 with check, king e7, rook a7, and king d8. You're now down the exchange. Yes, you have the bishop pair, however they are more focused on defending at this point than attacking. So again, white is completely winning in this position. Now you might think after bishop to b4, why doesn't black just move the rook to e8? Because after bishop b5, attacking it again, rook to, back to f8 is the best move according to the engine, just offering the exchange again, because the other alternatives are rook to e6, rook to e5, or rook to e3, and all of these moves, they lose the rook to a8. But instead of this rook to d1 move, Karpov plays the move bishop to c5, attacking the rook immediately, and now we get rook to e8, bishop to b5. However, now rook to e6 works because rook to a8 is no longer possible because of the rook on the b file. You got b4, attacking the knight, and now there's two squares you can put the knight on, b7 or b3. One of them is a draw, the other one loses the game for black. Now Kasparov plays b7, which unfortunately is the losing move. He should have played knight to b3, which is a bit counterintuitive because you're blocking your own bishop. However, after bishop back to f2, a rook trade on a6, bishop e7, now knight c2, bishop takes b4, knight takes b4, rook takes b4, and rook to e1. You get this position where the material is equal. White is slightly better, however, black should just be able to hold this to a draw. However, after knight to b7, bishop to f2, bishop e7, knight to c2, bishop to d5, rook to d1, bishop to b3, rook to d7, rook to d8, offering a trade of rooks, taking on e6, rook takes d7, now rook back to e1, rook to c7, and after this move, bishop to b6, Garry Kasparov resigned the game. Now, why did he resign? Because you have to keep an eye on the bishop. However, it's no longer possible as the two bishops cover the squares. You can play a move like bishop to f8, but that simply loses the rook. You could play bishop to d8, trying to offer the exchange. However, it just loses the checkmate. You could try capturing with the bishop on c2, but after bishop takes c7, bishop takes b4, rook e8 with check, bishop to f8, rook to b8, knight c5, rook takes f8 with check, king takes f8, and now bishop to d6 with check, you lose a piece. White is completely winning. And lastly, if you take on c2 with the rook, you get rook takes e7, rook c1 check, king f2, rook c2 check, king f1, knight to d6, protecting the e8 square. And now this great move, bishop to c5, which not only attacks the knight, it also prevents the rook from reaching the 8th rank. And after f6, you just lose the knight. That's why Garry Kasparov resigned the game. Karpov takes the strikes first and earns the first victory of the match.